All right. Okay. I should be back. We accessed a boom from hand. We're trying to... We don't technically live against double Cali testing, but I wanted to give it a shot. Nope. GG. Okay. We lost. Hooray! Turn 21. Oh my goodness, we got stuck in corp prison where they were completely won. Oh, this was an Urtica. Yeah, I just wasn't gonna check that. I guess yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for the game. Zero agendas from the death remote. Yeah, everything just going out wide. It's also wild that we saw no agendas in HQ except for the single SDS. Okay, how do we... Oh wow, this chat window's... Oh, okay. Man, this chat window's just... Let's see. Let's try aligning top. Okay, we'll try that. Okay, how do we make this better? Do we just cut all the knob curries and nonsense? Or we could just go back to this, which I felt like was a decent deck. And we can make some edits to it. Probably cutting the Procos. Oh, I actually like Proco Bass. Hippocampic. You know what? Let's just run this list again. I wonder if I still have this saved. Nope. Okay, I don't have it, which makes me think that this isn't the evolution of it. Yeah, this is the evolution of it. Yeah, we'll give this... How many... What is this record? 0-2 as well? 0-2 as well? Okay, Katorga Breakout seems like a meme, though. I feel like 2 pinholes is probably good. We're at so many events. Do we run... a falsify. Maybe we run 2 falsifieds. A second Amakua? No, it's 3 deuces. Cut the falsifieds now. Oh no, we cut the hush to get the second falsified. We're gonna cut. Got too many cards. We don't need the simul chip anymore. So we can run an echelon. We probably do cut the Procos. Probably. That's actually our only draw past Diesel. I guess Anakim as well. Can I cut an SMC maybe? I actually kind of want to get prepaid in here, but this is probably okay though. So I don't think you run less than 3 Procos because the goal of the deck is to do a lot of sitting and waiting. Oh, this is not the best here. This is a better view for this. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the chat window. Sorry for. I'll try and look at it another time. The 3 Proco is so that you actually find it in time. And if you miss it and find it on turn 4, it's probably too late. And you basically use the diesels as ways to draw more procos, probably. Okay, I'm a cool echelon. Like, we've got a lot of slots dedicated to weird things. Maybe we run 42 and find what the 2 weakest cards are in play. It's probably the Hippocampic Mechanocytes, honestly. You just don't install the Bass in some games. Yeah, we'll sit at 41 for now, and we'll find out that something is the best cut here. It might even be like a Parisia or something. All right. Let's see. Well, I don't know why OBS trashed, but hopefully it doesn't do that again. Also, Andre, I got it was a lot of fun. I actually watched back some of the Arkham content, so that was a good time. I didn't get to the moment where we you almost didn't release it because of how embarrassed you were. Yeah, no, I mean it's hilarious how many mistakes we made. I mean, like, we didn't get a fundamental rule wrong. We just didn't read the card. And then the snake pit, like setting up the rope to go right into the snake pit was just like hilarious. That's actually the thing that kills me about that run, was that neither of us thought to look at that, and I was the one like leading the charge on how to arrange things. So I even remember thinking like, oh yeah, we'll put the snake pit 2 away and whoop right over it, and then like didn't arrange things quite right. It's really quite funny. I think we also stalled for like an extra turn. This is actually a keep. This is fantastic. Yeah, I know. If we had... We would have actually crushed that scenario because you would have dealt with all the enemies, like, for free. Like, so much easier. This is sports, so this hand is actually a pretty slow start, but... yeah. But yeah, Andre, that got me playing solo Arkham again, so success there. So, okay, this credit... I think now we just, like, run HQ... Arc Lockdown, that's good to know. Okay, we're playing against a cheesy sports medal. You thinking you're gonna make a second? I've honestly, like, I've thought about making a second channel to put up, like, just video game related content, because I do feel like there's some merit to just having Netrunner be Netrunner. But I'd be happy to finish that series for sure, Andre. So, I had a lot of fun doing it. Probably do want to trash that. So, that can be the other Mega Pre superconducting hub. Oh, okay. So this is like all 1-pointers probably. The bummer. Oh wow, they get a hand size buff too. Holy moly. Okay. So this is gonna have nightmare archives and stuff in it, I think. Yeah. So Deuce is wild. You do as much as you can. So I think you can't expose a piece of ice, and if there's no ice and you can't make a run for some reason, you can't choose the last mode. But as long as you can do one or the other, you can play Deuce's Wild. We also are going to get negative value out of this Proco. Just hilarious. Do I run Endurance? No, it's banned. Yeah, game loss in our time plus deuces. That is the card. So for those of you who don't know what game loss in our time is, that is this card called a piece in our time, or just piece in our time, which says play only as your first click, and only if the corp scored no agendas during their last turn. Gain 10 credits, the corp gains 5. You cannot initiate runs this turn. That last line of text, literally everyone forgets about. Oops, that's not the card I can click. Let's run HQ here. Sick. So if I played Deuces, if I had played, like for example, if I played Peace in Our Time and then tried to choose the last mode on Deuces Wild in this board state, I would not be able to do that. But the most common thing for Peace in Our Time is someone will play Peace in Our Time, take a click, and then go like, great, I've got all these credits, let's make a run. They'll make the run, they'll get partway through resolving the run, and then both their opponent will remember the Peace in Our Time was played and call a judge, and it becomes a game loss in a lot of cases. So it's a real risk. Alright, so we're fast advancing a 4-2. We're not over advancing the Vitruvius. Interesting. I'm going to name Asset on this server. Are you allowed to play with self-printed cards and events? Yeah, Pete. I should add that to my list of things to clarify. Okay, cool. We will go and trash Bass. So, yeah, proxies are allowed at all tiers of Netrunner events. Judges may the important rule is that they are clear to your opponent what the original card is. No way that was a one-pointer. Oof. Okay. Oh, that's quite bad. I have Clot. We've got a game on our hands now. Let's go. So install advance, I have to Clot. Just a bummer. But yeah, and proxies are allowed. People often will make custom alt arts. Those are also allowed, as long as they're tasteful and not deceptive. We're gonna probably more formalize those rules. But yeah, I would encourage, like, if you're thinking about playing Netrunner, genuinely, I think Standard is the best supported format right now. Oh, this is the second spin? Oh, sick. Okay, so we have to go for the deep dive next turn, I think. The big challenge with that would be if we take core damage off of a Nightmare Archive. But I think the SMC for Clot still works. I'd like to issue a request that NSG print full arts on the card backs of their alt arts. Card backs are useless. I mean, I like that idea, but you're gonna have to convince Orbs. I'm not that involved in prizing, to be honest. So. Oh, that's a big fat. I missed that there was a fast break. Wait, what? I just missed there was a Bass on the board. That's hilarious. Oh, you have to pay the install costs of the ice? Man, I guess Fast Break is already pretty good if you draw 4. Okay. Set. Textless full art backs. Yeah, it's kind of cool. No, it's a really neat idea. Did they do that? When did FFG ever do that? I don't know that FFG ever did that, Andre. We have a full double art-sided right now. Oh, for IDs, maybe? Okay. It's funny, I don't remember any of their other IDs having that. I feel like all my... Though maybe I don't have FFG IDs. And as you did for Class Act, Nihilist, and Artist. That's true as well. Okay. Well, okay, I just don't have a memory then, I guess. You're right. I feel like those were a special event, right? Those were not just, like, generic, like... I don't know. Those were, like, a weird... Oh, hey! My ID ability triggered. Hooray! They were Eternal Worlds. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, there's no reason we couldn't bring that back. And to be honest, I don't think Eternal is getting any cards this upcoming year. As much as I would love to. Adam Alt from 19. Okay, so yeah, I just don't know pricing. It is funny that I don't know. Pricing is to me it's secondary, right? But how many Nightmare Archives are there? Let's find out. None. Whoa. Okay, let's see if we hit. Okay, so do I actually just hit Spin Doctor here? I wonder if I do just hit the Spin Doctor. And I probably just lose on server 6 here, honestly. Yes, that's Doug. You gotta use that use that Apex pretty quickly. Full art deck. Yeah. I think we should, so like this is, I'm a big fan of full arts, and I think honestly with a bunch of the Borealis cards, a full art is like sufficient pricing. Like just doing like the first GNK is full art Shishtushka, but I feel like for most Boreal like Parhelion and so I know it has 2 pointers because it has Vitruvius and it has a GFI. So, it has some. Just maybe doesn't have enough. Yeah, I think unfortunately full art champ decks are just not going to be a thing for a while. I would love them to come back though. Oh, sick. We just steal the Vitruvius. Okay. GG. Shushushka has... Okay, well, them's fighting words. We're gonna go and play. We're gonna go play... Where is this? We're allowed to play Greg's ESO list, right? Because it's, like, just fine. It's not great. So we're gonna just go and play that. It's quite good. It's a lot of fun. Okay. Silence Chash haters. this is going to be Essa. Grays. Thank you, Kat. Yeah. Is this just called Grey Tongue? Is that its name? Yeah, okay. Grey Tongue. This is one we are allowed to play. I remember someone talking about publishing this, so we're gonna play it. And if I get kicked from Snare Bears, well, I've deserved it. What's the one I'm not allowed to play? I actually don't think we have secret decks at the moment. Okay, this hand's kind of sick. Wait. I think Gray did publish the list. I'm not 100% that they did, but I think they did. So, alright. I feel like there's a lot of new names to me today. Gray did publish this? Sick. Great. I don't even need to feel like a dummy. Cool. Alright. Let's just start with a Marrow install. Oh, that's a bummer. Hey, Eric. No, I'll do that after this game. Draw 2 cards, gain 3 credits. Okay, cool, cool. I mean, we're just gonna keep setting up here. Sounds good. Yeah, Eric, it's not gonna be super exciting for you today, but I'm hoping it will be. Yeah, it's like basically I'm now back to almost feature parity with old Aesop's table plus user logins. And I have the architecture to make lots of improvements, so I want to actually do a little demo on stream so people can say, hey, I'd really like to be able to do X, I'd really like to be able to do Y. Because, we hit the Trishtushka, bummer. Oh, that is unfortunate, because that was kind of our big hit here. And the next thing will be, one of the things I'm going to try and do this weekend is sort out hosting it, because I think this is my one weekend for a little bit that I don't have nonsense amounts of stuff going on. I think I'm okay to draw here again, and then we're good to go. Oh, I needed to draw again to get that Blorch in the bin. That's a bummer. Okay. But yeah, I'm hoping that basically, well, it's a little expensive, but my implementation of Trash or Busto like has worked without any problems, and I haven't heard anyone being unable to access it. And so I'm gonna try and host Aesop's Tables 2.0 on the same service. I'm hoping it's not gonna double my costs. It might. In which case I might look into figuring out how to host from my own house instead, because I do have a spare computer, actually. Are we running hot here? Let's run hot here. Sick, we even hit the card I wanted to. I wonder if I actually just hard install the Blorch. We're gonna Dirty Laundry R&D. Which means we don't want to actually Trishtushka this turn. What? Oh boy, this is gonna get spicy, I think. Okay, let's run server 4 here. Oh, is this gonna be a Check as Scion? It'll be a Check as Scion, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, let's not die to Boom. Yeah, I legitimately, if you told me this card existed, I would have said, no, it doesn't. And now I don't even remember what the card was. Was it Net Analytics? Whenever the runner avoids or removes one or more tags, you may draw one card. Well, they're going to draw a card off of this, so that's something. Okay, I think I might want to make a blind run on HQ here. Just to see what we get. Okay, Vasilissa, that's unfortunate. I guess we can just go tag me here, right? We only have a 5-card hand size, so it's a little bit rough, but... How is this not from Genesis Spin? Yeah, I don't... Well, because it says avoids, right? So FFG didn't figure out that avoids was an important keyword to include. It is whenever, so that is kind of spinish. It doesn't cost 6, which I feel like is the Genesis cost for this card. Yeah, I guess once I see this, I don't need to check the checkist. So we're actually just going to play Tag Me, I think. I feel like that's going to be my play here. So I think my turn... Oh, this is not hard, I think it is. Yeah. Okay. We're going to find out if we die here. I guess I could sit on 2 tag, or 1 tag, I mean, and just try and not die to boom. Is this not... Wow. Opponent just mind gamed the frick out of me. Opponent's in my head. Opponent is freaking in my head. It's got me red for sure. Okay, so we're gonna go. Oh, I guess we can. Yeah, now we can Shrink Gamble. We can remove a tag. Let's see. And then, you know what? We're gonna just, when that run ends. So it's, yeah, we can just actually raindrops cut stone on the Spin Doctor, and we should gain 3 credits. Yeah, let's go. Okay. So I feel like I'm gonna like Cherstushka labor rights for labor rights Cherstushka, something like that, and see what we get. Double predictive planogram, holy moly! Oh, this is great. I mean, like, this is just wildly fun, Netrunner. It is definitely like tier 2 versus tier 2, but it is just a lot of fun to have. Open R&D installs ice protecting archives. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Net analytics plus DBS is pretty neat. Yeah, if you can get your opponent to clear tags and take tags and stuff, it is pretty neat. I feel like this game is so different if I don't run the Check as Scion. Okay, so click 1 is Cherstushka for 2 credits. And then we install MK. Oh man, this MK sucks. Where's my Mimic? Holy moly. It's gonna be like an Aket or something. That'd be funny. So we're gonna labor rights and then probably moshing if we miss anything good. So 2 cards from HQ and 2 cards from top of R&D. We're gonna labor rights, shuffle back Cherstushka, labor rights. So this is gonna be a lot of money. But I think we actually draw here. Beautiful. What do we want to do? Oh, sick. Sick. might even just like Raindrops Archives, because I think it balances out on clicks, draws me some cards. Man, the thesis of my Anarch video I want to record? Yeah, of course. Is that like Sabotage is actually sick because it makes you build a different Anarch deck than we've been playing for the last 4 to 5 years. But maybe this is too degenerate, but I don't think it is. I don't know. I actually might just take all the tags and not bother breaking with MK. I think the neat thing about this is it does have real trade-offs and does feel different to play. And I definitely, like, I brought Grey Tongue. Okay, that's gotta be like an Afshar. Is it? The other thing it could be, wait, hold on. How big is this card? How much influence is a wonder? Betting 4? Oh, it's only 3 because it's a gateway card. Okay, I think we're gonna RDS R&D here. Join us again when MK Ultra is installed. So this could be Pharaohs, actually. I think I'm just not gonna get... I'm just gonna take all the tags here. Sick rips. Cool. This is double Arquette. I think I'm okay if it's double. The other guy, I break it for 3. So we're gonna Sabo 8 here, and then make our run on. I think if this wasn't an agenda, I probably actually don't do the Sabo this turn. And I like clear a tag and let my opponent draw some cards. Corpus getting really short on time. Yeah, it's probably not a bad play either. Ice Wall for 4 advancements. Pretty cool. What's it gonna be? Is this gonna be a Mausolus that kills me? No, it'd be a little bit short of killing me. I think. Oh boy, we almost die here. That's hilarious.
Welcome and thank you for volunteering your time to the Symbian Consumer Marketing Focus Group.
Alright, let's see if we can steal enough points without stealing Bolognas. Okay, yeah, we can. Holy moly. Better Citizen Program. Man, this is so many cool cards. Yeah, Doomrat, though. I think you're probably right. With Corp on only 2 agenda points, we can just mill them out. Like, just keep playing Trishtushkas on HQ over and over again. It's like 5 each time we play it, because it's 2 plus the 3 to break on MK, but... wow. Okay, so this deck is... oh, Gaslights. Shipment from Vladismirsk. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I'm getting the feeling that Christian will come back in favor. Quite possibly. I don't think this would be the deck that does it, to be honest. It could be, though. Oh, I should take Pharaohs off the screen. But I need to set that. I need to improve my script or make some OBS scripting so that goes away after a certain amount of time. Because I always bring it up and then forget about it. Okay, let me get my scripts, activate a stream deck. Yeah, I should upgrade my... I need to get stream deck and I need to get a light. Oh, he had RPC? Wait, does he have RPC? Yeah. Hey, but I will say, switching my camera up here makes my face a tiny bit brighter, because instead of having the overhead light bounce off my head, not towards the camera, it bounces back up towards the camera. But, okay. Okay. But I did go and look, and I was like, wait, they're $15? That's too expensive. I gotta pay for... I've yet to pay for anything with my YouTube channel, so... Okay, so this looks ugly as sin, and I'm aware of that. Cleaning up the UI is... And you can see, this is my... my great tournament naming scheme, and I think when I get in, I just came up with random names from the YouTube video I was watching. Big difference is there's now actually a login, so you can create a login and register, and I now have to remember what I registered as, because I didn't use my standard stuff. Cool. Great. So, just came up with a bunch of things. Actually, I should do this first. So, if you're not logged in, this is what you see. But then, if you're logged in, whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because that, I mean, this is not going to get deployed to live. This is just my local testing server. You then get these ability to edit, delete, drop. Now, I actually don't know if these pages work yet. Oh, they do. Cool. I should probably change that to say edit rather than register. Delete, drop. I'll probably need to make those double confirmations. And then similarly here, if you're logged in, and not just if you're logged in and the person who made the tournament, you will see these and these will be buttons in the final thing. It was like just faster to not code buttons. Actually, it probably wasn't. I just didn't feel like looking up my old code. And so you'll have things for this. A couple small improvements, like no joke, putting the IDs in the pairings before was functionally impossible. It was like or not functionally, it was incredibly difficult. I should probably go back and say what this is for because like 2-3 people are maybe excited about this. But what is this? Aesop's Tables is a website that I'm trying to build that's really just a tool to run single-sided Swiss events. Single-sided Swiss events, most Netrunner events, you go there and you play a corp game and a runner game against each opponent, and then you report the results of both matches independently, and then you go to the next round where you're paired against a new opponent, play corp, runner, etc., etc., etc. In single-sided Swiss, in your first round, you'll get paired against someone that said, you're going to corp this game. You play that game, report the result, and then you get a new pairing, and you'll play runner against someone else. And so that's the goal, is basically you get a new pairing after every round. You can play against the same person twice, but it's a little bit less common. In small tournaments, it's going to happen all the time. In large tournaments, it probably won't happen a ton. But yeah, that's basically the idea. It has a bunch of advantages. When this site goes up, for widespread use, I will put out a video extolling the virtues of single-sided Swiss. I was going to like try and make fancy animations and stuff, but that would literally be a whole extra month of me getting delayed. So I'm gonna just try and, my goal is to get this out next weekend. Maybe this weekend if things go well. Turns out, if you don't know a lot of programming, but you have tutorials, old code, and machine learning models that help you, or large language models, all three together make coding a lot easier. And so they've helped me, and also therapy, which is a big one. All help you get motivated and get things moving. So yeah, the idea here is once you're logged in, you're able to create tournaments. So we can go live stream. You can now put a description in for the tournament. This is going out live. And then you can select a date, and eventually I'll make it so the front page stuff doesn't show up if you're not there. I probably need to take away the pair around before stuff, so you could also put other stuff here, and then register, and we can say Jeff is playing Op because, look, and Jeff is playing Essa, and then we'll say Eric is coming here and is gonna play Sports Metal. No, I'm sorry. He's not playing Sports Metal. He's playing Ag Infusion and 4... Actually, I think Ag Infusion 419... no, that's not what he's playing. What am I talking about, right? Register. I think I have this 4-1 buy check... This first round buy checkbox in. I don't have it actually implemented yet. So a language learning model is just what everyone's calling an AI right now. So ChatGPT, Google Copilot, all these things, they're all just large language models. I actually don't know if, is that what LLM is? LLM, machine learning. Okay, it is actually just large language model. That's hilarious. Okay, I did have that right. And the idea in large language models is you throw them massive corpuses of text, like the entire internet. And they sort... I get into debates with this both at work and now with my friends, whether or not AI, like, how this works. But let's see. So, Kisra, what are you going to be playing, Kisra? You're going to be playing... Oh no, you'll be playing as Mari 419. I feel like those feel like cat decks to me. Kisra. My goodness. Kisra. Let's see. Who else wants to be in this tournament? Axely Cantola. I don't know what you play. So I'm gonna just come up with a... One thing I've thought about is letting people... And this is a question if people want this. Would people want to be able to select the format and then restrict the ID dropdown to be format specific? Because, like... It's not like it's that much. It's not actually a lot of extra work. It would help me, like it's 30 minutes maybe to figure out the API for Netrunner DB, and I already have things that refresh every round. Like I'm gonna be refreshing the list of IDs once a day, kind of thing. Play Sports Metal, and we're gonna play. Padma Hipster. Registration. Let's see. Saley. Cantola. We'll play Outfit and 419. This is a little bit, we're going into a little bit of silly detail here, but that's fine. The clan register as Coffee or tea or coffee? You know what? Let's do that test. I actually don't know how to get those symbols in. So I'm gonna go. What is it? Unicode coffee. Hot beverage emoji. Let's see if I can register in that. Coffee. You're going to be playing CI and Haley, I think. Coffee has been added. Sick. Registration. Yeah, we'll put a semicolon in. Why not, right? Win plus some more text. This guy will be playing, let's see, Ampere and Nova. I feel like there's going to be an Ampere and Nova at any significantly sized event. Win plus some more text. Cool. Okay. So let's do an actual demo of how single-sided Swiss works. So we have 8 players. We pair the round. We get 4 tables. And so I would say Kisra versus Axelay Kuntala. Kisra is playing as Mari. Axelay, did I misspell your name as I typed it in? No, I didn't. Okay, phew. Can Johnny table register for sure? What I should do... Oh shoot, I definitely had this at one point. A little thing so I could roll a dice on screen to see who's gonna win. I guess I could... Alright, I rolled a 2. You guys have no way of believing that. I was gonna say a 1, 2. What can you do as even? We're just gonna have exclusively Corbin Runner wins, and I'll throw in a tie at some point. Oh, you know what? I'll roll 2 dice. Yeah, Izzy. So I know that CSS has ways to do alternating back rows to make the rows more readable. 100%. Actually, the live version of Aesop's tables. Where is it? Has it. I just haven't done it yet because CSS is a freaking a mystery to me. Last time what I did was I copied and pasted some what's it called? Bootstrap 5. And I tried to use the Python libraries to do it, and it was a mess. And so I'm trying to pick and choose my battles for right now while doing development. But you're totally right. I think it is a necessary feature of deployment to have these tables have different colors. So I will make sure that makes it on the list. But yeah, basically we can go through and you know, set your matches. Actually, oh shoot, well, whatever. You then, if you're the admin, you can conclude the round. Actually, what if I go to this and I log out on this page? I go to the live stream. I can then click to round 1. I don't see any reporting results, but I do when logged in. And then if I go pair round here, oh, I have to log back in on this pane. Well, I can see these, and then I can also... okay. I can still report results right now as a regular tournament user. That's like, what do you mean by try using it with a screen? Apologies, like I am super not web developer, web savvy. This is literally all stuff I've taught myself trying to make this tool because no one else was making it. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, to make it accessible to Brandon. That makes total sense. Yeah, I should try and look at that. Okay. So actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to register. We're going to test something out. We're going to call this one Second Jeff, and we're going to make a fake email at fake.fake. We're going to log in. We're going to go to the live stream. We're going to go to 2. And I should be able to report a runner win. Oh, interesting. So that logic's not working properly. Okay, I need to fix that then. This is a good set of notes to have. Need CSS table color dividers. And fix login logic. Currently logged in players always able to change results. So the intention, I think I know why this is the case. The intention is that once one logged in person reports, this goes away and only the tournament admin is able to change things. So that's the idea. But yeah, Pete, what should you know the first time you participate in a standard tournament? The first thing you should know is, what is it? Metropol Grid first event. Is this going to show me? Let's go. So you're going to Worlds. Oh man, I'm so not used to ads. I don't have them. Cool. So this is the link. Man, wild. We're just not logged in on this browser. Okay. This is a really good video.
Hey, welcome back to the Metropol.
It's 43 minutes long, so it's a touch on the long side. There's also a really good article on stimhack.com that is... Where is it? Yeah, Eric wrote one. That's what I'm going to look for. Articles and guides. Articles. Okay. Everything you need to know about tournaments besides playing in one. Okay. So this one I'm going to sprint through because I think this is a great one, and I don't want to just watch along to Andre's video, which is quite good. Despite me calling it too long. I think it's because most of the videos I'm going to be making are like half an hour for a little while. Anyway, pre-tournament prep, prepare your decks. So you should make 2 legal decks for the format you're in. There's usually the tournament is on always be running, and that will list the event type. So there was also a good post about the standard metagame. I remember there was also a beautiful Google Doc that someone made that I was jealous of because it was so much more comprehensive than anything I could have made. And it was pre-Worlds. And I was thinking about making some getting ready for Worlds video as well. And then this Google Doc came out. I was like, this covers everything I could possibly say. But let's say I wanted to go to the Spokane Standard Circuit Opener. I would click on it, and I would check to make sure what the format was. So this is saying it's legal card pull up to Parhelion, it's a standard ban list, and the format is standard. And so that tells me what I need to build decks for. I would then probably go to Netrunner DB, check my stuff. Let's see. Where did... Oh, it was just we were in this panel, right? Okay. Prepare your decks beforehand. Bring a backpack. Bring water. Bring some snacks. All important things. Eric writes about double-sided Swiss. I would say all of this you can ignore. If you're going to your first tournament, these first 2 paragraphs are what are important. It consists of you'll be paired against an opponent. And the first round is completely random. So if you're new to the game, which, you know, might be the case if this is the first tournament you're going to, you'll get paired against it somewhat random, and maybe you'll win one game, maybe you'll win 2 games. Probably you'll lose both, but not necessarily, right? I don't want to be super discouraging. But I think the cool thing about Swiss is that after your first round, you get paired up against someone in the second round that has the same record as you. So let's say you went 0-6. You had bad luck in the first round, right? You lost both of your games. That's why we call it going 0-6, because each match is worth 3 points. Thanks. I will copy this link, and then we can open this up as well. So a single match is worth 3 points. Yeah, the Quacktopus Crash Course, which I think is what Andre just posted. Yeah, this is the Quacktopus. And so after the first round, you would get paired against someone who also lost both of their games in the first 2 rounds. So they're probably much more likely to be in your skill level. Then maybe you win a game, so now, and then you lose a game. So you go even. You win one, you lose one in the second round. In the third round, you'll be paired against someone who also has 1 win and 3 losses. And then maybe you're actually a little bit better than them, so you win both. And so it's this constant adjustment, and by the middle to end of the tournament, every single game you're going to play is going to be against someone who's at an equal skill level. So it's just a fantastic way to get better at Netrunner, because you're going to be playing against people that are at your skill level, and you can learn a lot by playing with people who are close to your level. You can learn a lot by playing with people who are much better than you, but sometimes it can be difficult because they're doing things that are so alien to how you think about the game. If you can get them to explain it to you, it is the fastest way to improve, but often there's some social anxiety about doing that, which is true. There's something called strength of schedule. If you're doing really well, this is the thing you start worrying about. Basically, strength of schedule is an approximation for how good your opponents are. And then the rest of this is stuff that I'm trying to eliminate by switching over to single-sided Swiss. Basically, there's strategic reasons to not play Netrunner in a Netrunner tournament, which I think is a little bit silly and a little bit antithetical towards the idea of playing in a Netrunner tournament. And so there's actually a ton of stuff here. This is another super important thing that I wish there was a way that we could make easier. Calling a judge. I'm super pumped to hear that, Eric. I'm going to try and make sure that Aesop's Tables is up, reliably running, and tested before we get to Cascadia. That's why I'm trying to get it out this weekend, so people have some time to break it. Or this weekend or next. Because I know I've said that a bunch, but like it seems to finally be getting I'm getting some internal momentum. And if people do want to help me, especially with front-end dev, I would love it, because it's a mess and I don't know what I'm doing. I think the back-end is starting to become kind of cleanish, but anyway. Calling a judge. Eric calls out a bunch of reasons to call judges. And basically, judges should be a resource for everyone, and they're used to help make sure that everyone has a really equitable time. If you don't know what a card is, you can call a judge and ask for Oracle texts. Yeah, Eric, go ahead and put me in the Discord. Yeah, Izzy, there is a GitHub repo. Let me go and find it real quick. One person has already sent me a thing for deploying in Docker, which I haven't yet merged because I have to do some more reading on Docker, because I've tried to do stuff in Docker and it's just not worked well for me. I think I managed to set it up once in VS Code and to run a local Docker, but then didn't. But if branch, yeah. Oh, pull request. Oh yeah, it's a pull request. Fantastic. Cool. But yeah, that's the GitHub. Actually, there's someone local who also does some web stuff and is trying to. I should maybe reach out to them. Actually, there's 2 people, but I don't want to use up too much local goodwill. But yeah, Eric lays out Yeah, Ben, I don't know if Ben actually does front end. I think he actually does mostly back end stuff, but I'm not 100% sure. Eric says, to call a judge, you just raise your hand, call judge, and you can do them for all sort of stuff. You can get card text, you can get rules clarifications. You can say, hey, I think I made a mistake. What should I do here to resolve things? Or maybe your opponent says, hey, I made this mistake. Can we just roll back to here? And you're like, maybe. I'm not sure if that gives you an advantage or not. Call a judge. Judges are here to help solve those sorts of problems. Eric talks about takebacks. Takebacks have been changed a little bit since this article has gone out. I think Eric still disagrees with the current takeback rules, but that's part of the conversation. And the organized play policies are going to keep getting revised and stuff. Eric notes, if you really want to do some try-harding, you can take notes during games. You can write down cards you access. And just some, good etiquette, a thing that I was doing, and then, Eric was like, hey, this is a thing that people shouldn't do, which is try to, console the person that you just beat. If they start talking to you about it and relitigating the match, great. If they're silent, just let them be, right? So, it is what it is. But yeah, basically, let's log out second Jeff. Let's log in Jeff. And we can go back and we can see everything here. I think if I go conclude round, it should throw an error here. Not all matches have been reported. This will be red and obnoxious. And so, let's see. And yeah. So that's basically the idea. I'm trying to work on some cut logic. What I will probably do is hard code some cut logics. I was gonna try and make something fancy, and it's been taking up too much of my time to try and figure out how to do any number and cuts, both single limb and double limb. Double limb is the most standard, though I'm actually starting to think for small events that we should recommend single limb cuts. It makes things quite a bit more random, but I was realizing when we were running the accelerated meta test, if you're going to have 4 rounds of Swiss, doing a top 4 double limb is adding 4 extra rounds of effectively single-sided Swiss for your top 4 players, which just feels like you're adding basically 2 whole hours for 4 people, whereas if you do it in single limb, it's just an extra hour. It just makes things yeah, it's a little bit less reproducible, but if your event is pretty small, it's not a huge deal. People can have, and you can still get fun moments from it too. So I don't know. I think it's worth thinking about. Something I didn't mention, or I should mention for people that, especially those who are not in their first tournament. So score is just basically, once again, I'm saying, oh, a win is worth 3 points. So a way to read this is that Rotom Appliance has won both of his games this round. Kisra has won both of their games in the first 2 rounds. Then Diogen and win plus semicolon some underscore more space text has won one of their 2 games. I can actually put in their records with each of these. Yeah, it actually is pretty easy for me to go and grab to show people how many points they've gained with Corp and Runner side. So let me add that to my notes for an upgrade. Show wins with each deck on standings and pairings. I'm going to leave that in a question mark and see what people want. The other thing I can do is I think I have a nice... it's Aesop's is in Python. Both front end and back end. If someone wanted to convince me that the front end should be anything else, I believe them. I just don't know it. So it would be a bit of an uphill battle. Yeah, no worries, Eric. No one does Python for front end for a good reason, I think. And so it's just like... But it's what I know, so it's not worth learning like Python for back end and learning Python something else for front end for me right now. And I think I can get it going. Yeah, static pages with templates is, I mean, Izzy, that's basically what I have. Yeah, I'm using Flask, which has some ways to render a little bit of like to basically dynamically fill in these values. But that's as far as it goes. It's like Flask and Jinja that basically render these pages, and that's kind of it. So yeah, it's really, I need to just bring some CSS in just to clean things up, make it look prettier, and that's like I'm not too stressed about it, and it mostly works fine. But anyway, so I was talking about all the score stuff, then and like this is a like I need to improve, you know, having lines on here, having delineations across, it all to make this more readable is gonna have to come. But strength of schedule, which is this SOS, is basically saying, hey, the people that Rotom have beat combined have scored on average 1.5 points. The people that Kisra have scored on average 0 points. So Cat beat 2 people with no wins. And so, but one of the people that Rotom beat has a win. So he's ranked higher in the standings for now. Yeah, Lockstick, like there's probably a better context for this. The way I think about front end is about creating the page that gets displayed to the user, and that handles the user inputs, and passes them to the back end. And the back end is what does a lot, is like the underlying systems and logic, and what I always hear called business logic. So like my the like my single-sided Swiss algorithm and like my database interactions, those are I'm all doing what I categorize as back-end stuff. And so that I'm like, you know, in theory, I don't think I've set it up well, but in theory, someone else could plug and play with that half of my module and just build the whole website entirely independently of that. And then my front end logic is just how do you display this? I've cheated a little bit and put my user database and my user interactions also in the part of my thing that's going with front end, because I do think there's some validity to the tournament, like to having pure pairing stuff and then doing the hosting and server stuff independently so that someone smarter than me can fix it if they ever decide to. Extended strength of schedule is just saying what's the average strength of schedule of all of your opponents, and it's the total strength of like both strength of schedule and extended strength of schedule. Use total score of all opponents divided by their total games played. So actually, if someone gets a bye, it like helps your strength of schedule quite a bit. Because that person gets 3 points, but it doesn't count as a game. Oh no, did it not count? Oh, I should make sure it does count as a game played. Because that does matter. But if your opponent drops, it doesn't count as games they didn't play. So that's like, honestly, I have no idea. I actually don't even know what side FX is. So, let's see. I'm just gonna quickly. Oh, I should. Let's see. Wait, what were these? These were front end user interface stuff. Or I could just do a new note. I'm trying out using Obsidian to organize things, so. But I then like did a bunch of stuff to set everything up and then didn't. Have not gone back to it reliably, so. Not sure how I feel about it yet. But anyway. Okay. Did we report everything in round 2? We did. Okay, cool. What happens if I hit conclude round again? And if I pair round, do we get round... Oh, wow. I actually did this right. We get round 3, not round 4. Sick. Oh, man. I did something right. I think in the live deployment of Aesop's table, you hit conclude round a bunch. It actually... That's what iterates up the round number. Oh, I should also... I should talk about how things are paired. So right now, the way so there's this last column called side balance, which is how many games has each player played with their runner and corp. Currently, so we can go back to round 1, right? So Kisra, Rotom Appliance, White Blade, and Win Plus Sum all won their games. 3 of them won with their corpse, and 1 of them won with their runner. So, we have some choices going into round 2. We could pair these 4 players up against each other. And that would be, in a classical Swiss system, what you would do. Because you want to pair against people of the same strength. Now, the normative assumption, the decision I'm making in this algorithm is 1 win is not worth the side imbalance cost. So what we then see in round 2 is going to be one of these players, I believe it's going to be Rotom, is going to play against Win Some More Text, because Rotom won his corp and Win Some More semicolon won as the runner, and so they both have 3 points and they played opposite sides. And so it's low cost, like the algorithm says, it's a low cost to pair these 2 players together because that's the ideal possible pairing. But Kat and Eric don't play each other because they both won as corp. And so instead, they play against someone who ran in the previous round so that they can both run and play both of their decks in the first 2 rounds. And so that does mean that both Kat and Eric are playing against someone who went who lost their first round. So in theory, they're getting some small advantage. If it's true skill over time, this is going to converge. And generally, my thinking is, hey, if you're in a slightly imbalanced meta, you don't want to throw the whole tournament based on everyone winning corp in the first round or something like that. But this is something that people will have to give me feedback on at some point. So then, in the 3rd round, when we go to the 3rd round, which is like the pairings get based on the results of all the previous rounds, you have the 2 6 players playing against each other, the 2 3 players playing against each other, and the 2 0 players playing against each other. I believe that's what we're going to see here. Yeah, that's exactly what we see here. So I'm going to flip a coin to see who wins between Kat and Rotom. And by flip a coin, I mean roll a dice. On a 1, 2, or 3, Rotom's going to win. And it was a 1. Apologies to Kat. You know what, Kat? You're on my stream, so you're going to get the win. Rotom can get the win by showing up next time. Diogenes won the last match. And so actually, interestingly, we can see in round 2, Diogenes played Eric, and then in round 3, Eric played Diogenes. And that's because they were both now 1-1 after the second round, so they were actually a perfectly legal pairing for each other, and so they can do that. I'm gonna say I win some more attacks. I think that's actually also a rematch. Yeah, in a small tournament, you're gonna get lots of these sort of rematches, and we're gonna give Haley the win. You can conclude the round, and then we're gonna pair the round, and then we're gonna unpair the round because actually. Axelay just needed to, oh, lol, my drop button doesn't work yet. Okay. That's hilarious. Alright, well, we'll need to fix that. I know exactly how to fix that bug. That's a 1 second fix, but that's hilarious. Okay, so we're not going to drop. We're just going to repair. And then we would finish this out. And you know what? We're gonna give Cat the double win here because once again they showed up. Can CI beat Tag Me Zaya? I think it can. We're gonna say Essa can beat Ampere, and we're gonna give. I actually think 419 is pretty favored against PE. Okay, include the round. Oh, and I fricked it up again. Okay, we're going to pair the round. We're going to do this another time. It's going to allow up to 2 matches, so you cannot play runner 2 times against the same player, right? Yes, exactly. You're only allowed 1... Yeah, you're basically allowed to play the same opponent twice, and you'll never play the same deck against the same opponent. So you'll never run twice against the same person. Well, okay. If you did enough rounds so that was the only legal option, my algorithm would actually let you do it, but that should never happen. Sorry, Cat. I'm gonna be greedy and give myself 1 win. Sports medal. We're gonna say they tied on points on time. And then Haley's gonna win, and then 419 is gonna win. Okay. So now, when we conclude the round, we see that there's a runner +1, a court +1, a runner +1, a court +1, runner +1. Oh, why did that +1 disappear? Oh, I just don't have the +1 in the runner thing. Okay. Man, so many. I'm glad I'm doing this live and finding tons of weird things. Runner bias doesn't have a plus sign. Okay. And then I should go through and check. Oh man, I can actually check off a bunch of stuff. Cool. So what it's going to try and do is pair people such that this cost is minimized. So in theory, Kat and I will play against each other because we've played the opposite sides, and we have the same record. And then, in theory, Coffee and Rotom should play against each other. And then between Whiteblade, Axelay, Win Plus some more, and Diogenes, it's a little bit hard for me to say exactly what's going to happen because we're starting to get into the number of rounds where there's a lot of repairings and stuff. In theory, what is probably going to happen is that both Whiteblade and Axelay will get paired down to balance out the sides. Which I think is what happened. Yeah, it is what happened. Okay, cool. Then I play Cat and Rotom plays Coffee. So hopefully this makes some sense. It can get a little bit funky, but for the most part, single-sided Swiss, I think pairs, you can predict about as well in single-sided Swiss as you can in double-sided Swiss who your opponent's going to be, and you have the added advantage of not being able to scam the tournament system. So I think it's kind of a win all around. At least that's how I look at it. But anyway, thank you all for indulging me. I will try and put this up publicly so that people can access it in the near future. After cleaning it up a bit, fixing some bugs we found, cleaning up some CSS, fleshing out this page a bit so that it's sorted by date, things roll off and then can come on. Existing Aesop's tables can export to Cobra. I will probably make an explicit button for that. Let me actually write that down. Button to export to Cobra, or sorry, to always be running. Actually a thing I didn't show when you register. Oh no, I don't have this set up yet. I want to get decklist registration in here. I need to think a little bit about how to do that. If people have ideas, I'd love to hear them. But anyway. Okay, we're going to play one more game of Essa. And then we're going to, I think, call it a night. So thank you to the handful of you who stuck it around. I really appreciate it. And hopefully, do I want, you know what? We're gonna play one more game, and then we're gonna do we're gonna blast through some replay reviews because that's something I want to do. I think there were some interesting decisions that I kind of want to see what good players think about, and there's enough of you good players around in the chat that I want to get some opinions. Ag Infusion is going to be a very bad matchup for us. For registration, just use NRDB. Yeah, use NRDB, make sure the deck list is public, scrape the deck list, save it. Yeah, Sauce. I'm talking about the cut games that I played with Brandon. But I actually, you know what? He never got back to me if it was okay. Let me check. Yeah, he never did. Okay, well, maybe I'll wait till next week to see if I get his okay. SAGLIHF. Great. Okay. I think I'm going to go Sure Gamble, Dirty Laundry R&D, and we're just going to steal something off the top. We're going to play the DNA Tracker. Or we're going to not play the DNA Tracker, lol. Play the Ghost Tongue here because it was lots of good hits. One card from HQ and one card from the top, so R&D is fresh. I think we still play the Creative Commission for 5 here. Rashida is unfortunate. This Deuce is going to be pretty nice here. I think Raindrops is not terrible either. Not risking for the +5 Sure Gamble. I don't think there's a ton of... So I actually think... Like, that was actually going to be my initial play. But I think losing the 1 card of value to guarantee hit a Steel Skin or an MK is quite good. I'm going to draw 2 cards. We're going to expose an ice. Thimble Rig. Yeah, sure. We can actually just run into HQ here. I don't mind hitting a Thimble Rig. Like, the Ag Infusion gets scary when they get a nasty piece of ice res. Thimble Rig is not a nasty piece of ice. Oh, I should have Raindrops this. Oh, interesting. It's a second Thimble Rig. Okay. I think we're going to install the Marrow. Ah, bummer. I definitely should have Raindrops the remote run, though. 1 from HQ and 1 from the top. Once again. Okay. We're just going to draw again. 6 hand size here. I guess I maybe should run HQ here, see what this last card they're really keeping. Give me some info about what their game plan is. Okay. Putting the Thimble Rig on... So Thimble Rig is on server 1. Regolith Mining License is a bummer. So I think I'm going to just Raindrops Cut Stone server 1. They kind of have to res the Thimble Rig here, which reduces their Regolith efficiency a little bit. And I get 3 credits for this, which I don't mind. Legwork, 6, 6, 6. We're going to draw. We're going to draw. Gonna draw. We get the MK down. Next turn we get to Diesel, which I think is pretty good. We might just then like Raindrops Cut Stone R&D, which is probably gonna have some. It's like it's got nasty ice, and we don't have hippos, so I'm a little bit reticent to do it. Actually, I'm pretty happy to just find my Black Orchestra and set up for Chushtushkas on HQ, I think. Because if I can just draw a Black Orchestra, slam it, I think denying 6 credits from Ag Infusion seems pretty good. 3 credits I probably don't bother to deny. Breakers, where are you? Breakers, where are you? Okay. Do I have to discard 4 cards? 1, 2, 3, 4? Sure. Okay. Yeah, maybe this is where you want Bankars. Bankar, Hush. I don't know. What were you... I forget what you said you were running, Rotom. Let me see if I can go and find your last comment on this. Not sure if it came up with a modern ag isn't on spin. It's not. Color me skeptical that it's actually not on spin. Maybe with your best shot, Architect. I don't mind trashing Rashida there. And now we can land we can go like Chushtushka into legwork, I think. For 6, 7, 8, 9 credits. Probably the Thimblerig gets swapped after the Chushtushka, so it's a little bit risky. I wonder if we can deck the Ag Infusion. That's actually what our game plan is here. Thimblerig is pretty rough, though. I do kind of wish I was on Buzzsaw against double Thimblerig Ag. Like, I'm just never going to get into the scoring remote because I can't pay 9 to go in. It's too much. Like, I guess, like, Dirty Laundry I get in for +1, which is brutal. Like, this is such a secure scoring remote, it's kind of wild. But there's still no scary ice res, which is pretty good for me. Three cards from HQ. Alright, Steel Skin. I think we're running Haunt here. Ah, that's a bummer. Finality seems great. Potentially. Maybe not this turn, actually. We're going to draw 2 cards, gain 3 credits. We're going to play a Sure Gamble. With 10 cards in Archives, do we run Archives here? We might. We don't need any of the cards in our hand, particularly Legwork has gotten a little bit low value. Oh man, it's a faction staple. The faction staple cost me 6. And we hit nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay. Yeah. No hippo is gonna hurt us here because we now have to pay 6 once a turn. Exposing R&D or HQ might have been nice. Yeah, I think it's definitely a potentially better line. Enjoy your faction staple propeller. Yeah, no one gives me shit for that one, which is great. I do also think propellers, like, once paperclip rotates, I think it's fine. Like, people will mostly play cleaver because cleaver's wild, but propeller's totally serviceable. Do I like legwork so I can land a finality? I feel like that's kind of my line here. Or is the finality so I can legwork better? I think I'd rather legwork here. Sliceaton event. I mean, it's not actually going to kill us, I think. So what I'm going to do is just break 2 of the net damage. Let Unbroken Subroutines fire. Steel Skin Scarring and Finality. That's a bummer. Okay, we're gonna like click for credits for 1,000,000 turns here. Yeah, we'll trash a void. We'll steal a regenesis. Data loop. Okay, so it's this kind of ag. It's friendly ag. It's very, very friendly ag. I wonder if I'm just gonna labor rights for like Sure Gambles back or something. I feel like I might want to. You think punitive in the data loop deck? Possibly. Well, my opponent's sniffing out that Chushka might be part of my game plan. Have I lost my other labor rights yet? No. Okay, so we're gonna running hot, draw a card. Get some sabotages going. I mean, 20 cards left in R&D. If I can land the Chushushkas, maybe I can actually just go for a mill out rather than anything else. Draw. Diesel. Okay, so we're going to gain 3 credits, expose an ice, a non-C. Probably don't want to run to that. So I think what I'm going to do is actually run into server 1 and let the Unbroken Subroutines fire. I think click for 3 and draw a card is also good here. And then probably just take 2. I don't think I can play this last running hot. I think I want to keep a hand size of 4. Yeah, I think it's going to be like gamble, gamble, gamble. So that I can land the 2 Chushkas in a turn. I'm trying to think, what do I have in terms of econ left in this list? I should probably be able to figure out what the last 6 cards are, so we're going to just cheat. think it's like a Steel Skin, a Running Hot, 2 Moshings. So it's not cards I care about. How about Marrow, Running Hot, and just never run? I only basically have 4 more. I only have 8 more mills. I think my opponent can win with 20 HP on 8 mills. Like, I think with 12 cards, they have enough to win. We discarded Dirty Laundry, Black Orchestra, and Moshing, so I think that is basically exactly what I expected to happen. Draw. I think it's credit here. So our stack is 3 Sure Gambles. Which I think is enough econ. 1 Shishushka we're not going to land. I mean, draw, click, gain 10 for my opponent's gaining net 5. No, net 4 feels okay. I'm gonna empty out. Okay, so next turn I think. Oh shoot! Well, whatever. It's gonna be Chishtushka. The first Chishtushka is gonna get bounced. And this is encountering, right? Let's look up the Oracle text. Trash the unrest piece of ice when choose a server other than the attack server that moves to the outermost within that server and encounters any ice there. Yeah. So I'm going to hit the Bathonimus. So it's going to cost me a bunch of money, right? So this is 3, 6, 12. No, 3, 9, 15 credits. And then I get to do it all over again to land 4 mills. Then I labor rights for Chishtushka, Sure Gamble, probably. Or maybe Sure Gamble, Chishtushka. Maybe I just do another labor rights on triple Sure Gamble, because opponents now only got 12 cards in stack. Or maybe I just sit on 30 credits here, right? This is the threat of Infinite Runner Econ, right? We don't try and win right now because our opponent's not presenting a way to win. Yeah, that is unfortunately the correct play here. Like, when they go for a score, we first Chishtushka, and if they don't bounce us, then we run into server 1. Or if they do bounce us, we then run server 1. And if they don't bounce us, then we get a Chishtushka to land, and then we play a second Chishtushka. And then we just labor right stuff back. An enemy could screw me up. That's certainly the case. I could labor rights preemptively here, I guess. So I'm not going to do 3 Chishtushkas. So let's do that. I like that call. I can't really go for the oboe steal here, I guess. Let's see where this swap goes. Yeah, opponent has 17 HP basically if we're going for the mill win, which is a little bit too much for my liking because they're going to be on a couple of points. I think they bounce me here. Yep, they do. So now maybe I do challenge the remote. Now that their bounce is out. So what do we see? A big deal, data loop. If it's an oboe though, I just have nothing. If this is an enemy and I play Chashushka, I just die. It's not an enemy. We're just gonna call it's not an enemy. I actually probably could have known if it is or isn't an enemy. Ah, yes, this is actually an Anansi. No, position 1, I actually don't know. Okay, it is an Anansi, though. Alright, so this is costing all of my money. It's not really going to help me win the game here, I think. I might actually want to do a legwork. They didn't. If they install advanced Regenesis, it doesn't matter here. Okay, so R&D is packed, which makes me almost want to get a finality back. I don't think I actually can, but okay. So they're on 13 HP. Yeah, I think they just score out before I can do anything else. Having no unres on HQ though is a big deal. Oh, it's a bacterial. Yeah, unfortunately I can't put the pressure on HQ this turn. So I think it might be like draw, gamble, labor rights for 2 Chashushkas and a sure gamble or something. Maybe it's just the 3 Chashushkas. The thing is, they should swap a thimble rig for a face down ice. On 6 credits though, maybe I just play the triple sure gamble and threaten server 1. That's probably what my line actually is. So I don't play any cards. I just stick at 4 cards in hand. Yeah, that's actually what the line is. Threaten the remote, and then when they go for the push, then I can go for the score. And Bacterial takes forever to resolve. Like, legitimately, this card is one of the most frustrating in all of Netrunner for resolution. And it's not. I'm not blaming my opponent at all. This card's just quite silly. It makes you make too many choices. Yeah, we saw a loop. It is discarded. It might matter, right? Like, yes, I can't secure every agenda that they install, right? They have 3 oboes. They have to score 2 more agendas. They just trashed their entire hand. So I actually know that their agendas are in R&D or in HQ right now. I might need to... Oh, I forgot that Marrow sabotages. Literally a trigger I'm never going to remember in person. Any spins in the trash? Not that we can see. Yeah, like, I am going to play pretty passively here. It's like draw, gamble, labor rights, I think, this turn. Because they don't have that much... Like, the problem with sabotage here is it's probably not winning me the game. So I think I go gamble, labor rights. Is it double Chashushka and a gamble? Is that enough credits? We'll see. I feel like I need the double Chashushka to like actually go in if they realize the swap. It might even be draw, draw, click, click for 2 credits, right? Because they are on 6. Running Hot does nearly as much damage, does half as much damage, and I think that's pretty important, right? 4 damage versus... I guess Tashushka is kind of a Running Hot, right? But if they don't make a swap on HQ, then suddenly, like, it's tricky, right? Because I'm kind of betting that my opponent makes a misplay here. Which is a pretty dangerous decision to take as, like, the line I want to take. There's maybe an argument for I should have taken the legwork. Yeah, because if they install Advance, I run server 1 with enough credits to break a Nancy. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, now they can't install Advance. Now they're protecting Arcot. Oh, this is a Regenesis play. So I think it's draw, gamble, run archives. Oh, do I have enough? I have enough to go in twice. I can't steal the oboe, but they can't score the oboe, which is kind of the important thing. I can't steal oboes for the rest of the game, but that's fine. That's not our game plan, right? So we need to have 6... We have to have 9 credits the first time. We need to have 15 credits the second time. So we're clicking for 4 a lot here. And we might actually have the mill out. If I go gamble, credit, 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 credit. Yeah, I might have it. It's gonna be pretty tight. I actually don't know. I could do the math here. They have enough credits to score. So it's score out this. Okay, they did the thimble rig swap, so I actually don't think I can kill him now. Oh wait, can I? No, I'm credits short this turn. I should grab the, like, take the non-card clicking credits right now. Yeah, I think I would have to land both Shchushkas, so probably... Yeah, I would need some more non-interactive sabotage to make this game plan really work. Yeah, Ag Infusion is really tough when so much of your deck right here is built around Shchushka. Like, if there was a Time Bomb or 2 in this list, I think it would be, like, much better against Ag. Oh, that's pretty good that they didn't install an advance on the agenda. Spin Doctor doesn't add turns to their clock. And with 7 credits, I can actually do a little bit of damage. Sabotage off of Mara might actually have been relevant here. They've got 6 HP. This is so... If I can land a Shchushka, it's wild. I just can't right now. Or can I? Oh no, they have 8 HP. Hold on. Okay. So I mill them for 4. And and they then install Advance and win the game. Yeah. So no, I actually think I'm dead on board here. I have to get them to boot me first. But just installing like they just need to find a oboe here to win the game. Yeah, I guess I need to be slightly more preservative with my cards, I guess. I mean, they almost, like, they definitionally have non-oboe agendas in hand. The Sysoton's just so expensive to get through, right? It's 6, then I have to get bounced into the Anansi for 9. For no cost to them, right? Maybe I have to just do the poking run through the Sysoton to try and get them to spend some ice. Yeah, like every plan I come up with, I'm like, oh wait, Ag Infusion can just keep me out this way. Yeah, this is the annoying thing, is it actually cost them nothing here. Yeah, we needed roughly like 20 more credits because MK is so bad against Sysoton. Like, this is a game where a Buzzsaw and a Mimic saved me roughly 13, 14 credits. If they don't have the oboe here, I'm pretty happy. But that's going to be the oboe. Yeah. Okay. So I have no way to win here. Right? Yeah. That was a bacterial? Ah! Wild. I mean, I still couldn't run because after I pay 3 to break Thimble Rig, I get bounced into a Nancy and die. So, like, there isn't actually a line here for me. So, like, I'm still, like, this is the thing. I'm still completely dead on board, even with that not being an oboe. There's no permutation where I don't die on board here. So. Okay. How would it have been if I had recurred the non-interactive pieces? So let's say I, instead of recurring Shishtushkas, I recurred, oh wow. Was it? Did my opponent just, like, choose to not? I guess they, like, this is actually... Yeah, okay, an enemy makes the server quite safe. Yeah, double an enemy makes the server super safe against me. So that's why my opponent put a bacterial. So, yeah, we were very, very dead on board if we tried to run this remote. Because remember, they have... Oh, no, they don't... Yeah, they have 6 credits here. So, yeah, they can double an enemy me as well. Cool. So... Let's say instead of recurring these Chishtushkas, I recur Running Hots. Sabo 2, Sabo 2. I would actually have had to recur all 4 Sabo 2s. Or all 4 Running Hots to go to a 1-hand size. Which maybe would have been correct. But it literally has to be I literally have to play all 4 Running Hots. And I think most likely, the threat of the Chishtushkas kept my opponent playing slower. And if they know I just have Running Hots, they can just jam very aggressively in the remote. I'm not 100% on that line, but that's my assumption. We could go back a little bit to when I used the first labor rights, maybe. So, after this first labor rights, I used... let's see. I used 2 Chishtushkas to mill 2. But I think I don't think either of those Chishtushkas I put back from the first labor rights. Let's see where I found them. So first labor rights, I just have the 2 Chishtushkas in hand. Yeah, okay. So these were not drawn yet. So these are actual resources I had the whole game. Okay, so these two Chishtushkas are free. So in theory, this labor rights could be all 4 of my damage. Oh, that's also a good point, X. So it is technically possible if I set up my draws exactly correctly, which is it requires some luck, but basically what you do is you labor rights back a running hot, and another card, and then you draw 1 running hot and you have a non thing in hand. Yeah, so maybe that's not even possible, right? Yeah, I can't play a 5th running hot and win the game. I can only play 4 running hots. So 4 running hots is 8 damage. Or 8, I'm just going to call it 8 Sabo, right? 4 running hots is 8 Sabo. If I land 2 Chishtushkas, that's 8 Sabo. So 2 Chishtushkas and a running hot is probably the optimal play for me in terms of what I can feasibly land, right? Yeah, I actually think my mistake this game, hilariously enough, was running archives. Because if I don't run archives here, they never get the Bathynomus resed, and that's maybe the mistake. Classic Bathynomus winning games. I mean, hey, it's a faction staple. I didn't actually have to, right? I could commit to the mill. I did. You're right. I guess I did. I did kind of have to at some point here. Is this the Regenesis? No, this is bacterial. It's very safe. So this is the turn where I have to. But if I hadn't done this, I'm up 12 credits on the board state. And so it's pretty plausible to have, like, those 12 credits would get me into HQ to do some Chishtushkas. So, I don't know. It is what it is, right? I definitely made some mistakes earlier in the game as well. Okay, we're going to go back and look at... let's go see. These were mostly streamed, so I actually don't feel too weird about... Oop, that's not a program I want to open right now. Okay. Oh, this replay is not available? Oh, that's a bummer. Neither is this one. Did I play too many games? What? Oh no. Why are these replays not available? Oh man, this is the one I really wanted to talk about too. Oh. Darn. Oof. Oof. So there was, yeah, basically, I think King had to make Sauce have it and didn't. I can do the finals. Yeah, we can do next. Man, why are the replays unavailable? Oh. Did you turn the replays off, Sauce? You have the replays downloaded? Fantastic, thank you. Yeah, send those to me next week. We'll call the stream tonight. Thanks everyone for coming by and going through technical difficulties. So yeah, I could watch the VOD. The VOD, the one thing I can't show in the VOD is what our hand was as the corp, which I think is like the important thing that I want to talk about, because I would have played a couple of hands differently. I don't even know that I would have played those hands differently correctly. But I'm just gonna skim through this. This is one of the funny things about oracling is like you have to try really hard to give like no impression of what you do, and it's just like I open this hand, I'm like, do I just auto mulligan for him? Of course not. I just have to say every card, but it's really funny. I think the PD deck is I mean, like, pinhole threading really makes it rough. Oh yeah, this send a message against Encoder, literally hear the entire game, and Encoder misses it like 16 times. I think Brendan didn't jam hard enough. I think he actually can win the final if he jams harder. So I think it's... I mean, I also think corps are a little fucked in startup, but that's not either here nor there. This rototurret hits actually like pretty good. I don't know if I would go for it or not with the send the message, but you can just never... It's now dodged twice, 1 and 3. Yeah, this draw is rough stuff though. Yeah. Oh, Into the Depths gets Echelon down, trashes, and then Conduit gets going. And it's very nice little recovery here. Yeah, like this, like for the most part, I think this game's played very well. This was very weird to me that this card got pinhole threading, not this card. I think you pinhole threading this Managarm every time and then just make the run on the remote. And most of the time you're good. Like, I think it's a little surprising that Cody let that through. This also surprised me a bit. I feel like just getting an extra advance on the Vitruvius is probably worth quite a bit. Because we're going to spend time clicking for credits anyway. Yeah, send a message now has dodged a 1 and 3, a 1 and 3, and a 1 and 4. Which is like, what is that? 2/3? 4/9, 16/36, right? So that's like a roughly, it's slightly better. Like it's should have been found in over half of games at that point. 2 times 2 times 3. Wait, no. 2 times 2 times 3 is 12. And 3 times 3 times 4 is 36. So it's actually like only in 1/3 of games should the send the message have survived. Which is wild. So I think the line I wanted to do here... Oh, the reason I wanted that extra Vitruvius counter is so that we could get a... getting the second Vitruvius counter lets you pull back the Anoetic Void. As well. Is this double? No, this is to send the message going in that remote. And then this is the luckiest thing of all time. The top of R&D happens to be a seamless, right? It's just like, well, sometimes you just win as PD. The line I wanted to look at here was pulling back the Void from the remote. So that you could actually go Managarm, send the message. Like, with only 7 credits and 2 boat counters, there's actually real threats to keep Encoder out here. Like, Ansel Managarm actually saves the remote, and Cody would only get to 3 points. You'd use up boat counters, which stops the R&D leaking. And that's what it is. Yeah, no, he top stacks here. Like, it is wild. Yeah, no, he got, yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is just lucky, where I'm like, we maybe could have made our own luck a little bit here. Force the runner to have pinhole. I think we'd seen... Oh, no, there's only 1 pinhole. Oh, yeah, okay. So in the finals, when I talk about that in a little bit more detail next week, there's a similar line where he can put an agenda in, put the Void in, and in that game there was 2 pinholes already down with 13 cards left in the deck and 3 or 4 cards in hand. And my line was the line I was thinking, but of course didn't say, was like, install agenda, install Anoetic Void, draw a card or something like. Draw a card, install agenda, install Anoetic Void. Because the runner had pretty free accesses on centrals, the remote was a little bit trickier, and Void was going to be how you were going to force a win. And so if you just need to force the runner to, if they have pinhole, they win the game. But if they don't have pinhole and you leave the agenda and you leave the Void, it was like the agenda and the Void were both critical to winning, so they both need to go on the remote to make the runner have it. Was basically my take on the play. But anyway, yeah, best top deck of all time. Both the King and I were like, yeah, the PD deck just has to luck sack against runners, and it did. So that was the semis, I think. So tough break for Cody, and good run for King. But anyway, thanks everyone for coming by, and I will see y'all next week.